Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Once again, thank you for liking, thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, thank you for making this channel possible. Um, Quick update. I was supposed to play in a chess tournament today. I did not. I went, a few of my students were playing. I was not able to arrange not to be paired against them, so I just watched them play, and I had a great time. Um, One of the students I have not seen in person for 16 months. I was very happy to see him. Um, um, so, back to this um, idea. We'll pick it up where we left it last time. We are right now on puzzle number 40. Again, the best way to do this is by pausing before each puzzle, trying to figure this out on your own, and then seeing what I have to say. Um, and again, just a quick general set of reminders. Always look at forcing moves, chats, captures, threats. When you're calculating, remember if you capture something, your opponent does not have to capture back, and vice versa. If your opponent captures something, you do not have to capture back. And always pay attention to things on the same line or the same diagonal. At any rate, let's see what's going on here. Again, let's start by looking at checks. So if we check, his king has one move, and then when we take, the king has one move, and then rook is checkmate. So again, this is solved easily by looking at the checks. So here, and now we do this, and now we checkmate. Okay, this puzzle, at least is rated only 1873. So let's see what's going on here. There are no checks, and there are no good captures. One of the moves which jumps out at me is queen here, and the reason is it creates two threats. It threatens to checkmate. It also hits the rook, and it doesn't seem that it is possible for our opponent to stop that. So let's do that. Okay. The logic is he stops the checkmate, so now if we do this, he can block, which means that we are left with taking the rook. This puzzle is rated a little bit over 2000. The first thing I see whenever I see rook here, or any piece stuck in my position, I want to see if there is a way I can trap it. So let's see. So the obvious move is here, but then he does that. I mean, we could defend, but there doesn't seem very exciting. Although maybe it is. Let's think. So we go here, he goes here. He has to. And then if we defend, on the very next move, we'll be able to do this, attack the rook. So again, let's calculate. So here, here, here. If he, let's say, brings the knight, he's not fast enough because we do this and the rook just doesn't have squares. So here, and now we defend. And okay, he takes. Obviously, we don't take with the bishop because of this. We take with a knight. Okay, we are down a rook, but we have 20 million points. Um, the most obvious idea seems to be to just try to push those pawns, starting with this. Um, there seems to be nothing else, so we start with that. Okay, so he moves. Okay, so now there are several possible ideas. One is we can try to go around and attack this pawn. We and he can't really defend it quite well. He can't do this because of the fork. He might try this, although we could take. Although it seems there should be something better. Another idea is to bring the king and keep pushing the pawn, which is probably better in the long run. This idea of this and then this. So let's do it. Okay, and now we push, and again, this puzzle is less of a puzzle, but more just finding the best moves. And the more your pawns become advanced, the better it is. So we push, and this was correct. Okay, this one is rated 1950. Again, the very first thing which jumps out at me is queen here, because it's a check. If he goes here or here, we take the rook with check. If he goes here, we can fork and get the queen instead. So let's start with this. Okay, or he can give this up. So, but now there is an important question. Do we take this rook with check, or do we take this rook with check? And there is also a third option of taking the rook with the knight, attacking the queen, and having these threats. So, it's not obvious. Although this knight check, which means he can probably force a queen trade, something like this. And we can't block because he'll take, and that means after here, he can force a queen trade. So that's not ideal, so this is out of the question. So we're left with queen here. And that seems like the best try because we get both rooks. So this one is taken with check, and then this one is taken with a knight. And that was correct. Yeah, they get a little bit tough. Alright. We'll do maybe 2 or 3 more. Here, a lot of people would start looking at this check, but he runs away. It doesn't seem like there is anything amazing after that. So the next move which comes to mind is takes, and the logic is after he takes back, we can do queen check. He can deal with this in a couple of ways. He can't move the king because the rook will checkmate. So that means he's going to block with the rook. He's going to block with the rook. Then we check this way. After this check, he has to block with the rook over here. And then we check with the rook. He has to take, we take back. Then he goes here, and actually, that doesn't quite work. So let's calculate this again. So we take, he takes. We play queen check. He will block. We can also just take the knight, and then we up a piece. That seems even better, because when the rook moves, the rook doesn't defend. So again, the logic is rook here, queen takes, pawn. If he moves the king again, this is a checkmate. If he blocks with the rook, then we take the knight for free. So here, and here. Okay. Okay, we're moving into the high 2000s. Okay, so this is a fork, but then he takes our queen, we take his queen, and that does not seem like the most exciting thing in the world. Okay, so that doesn't work. Although this is a check, though, so maybe it does work. So this is a check. Okay, this is a check, he moves the king. He move here, here. If he moves here... Well, there is a point, actually, because wherever he moves when we take, and he takes a queen, bishop will take back. So again, the logic is we check. Therefore, it's these two guys. The king moves, and wherever he moves, we take, and then we also get the rook. So that makes sense. So we take. Okay, we take the queen, and we take back. Okay. Okay, we're back in the 1900s for some reason. So there are two checks, and there are some captures. Okay, this one. The first one which comes to mind is queen here, with the idea that after this, we can take this pawn with the rook. And again, remember, always pay attention to things being on the same line or diagonal, which means that after here, 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 wherever his king moves, we have a discovery, and then we take the queen. So we start with this, and then we do that, and okay. Okay, this is, we'll do two more puzzles. This is our first puzzle rated 2100. So, the first move which is begging to be played is rook here, after which he has to move. So again, remember, calculate all the possibilities. After here, we play knight here, checkmate. So that means he has to go here. And then we check with the bishop. And then he has to go here. And then rook here is checkmate. So check. And check. And checkmate. Okay, and we'll do last one. This one is rated 2020. Okay. So okay, so if we're playing for shall I never mind? We could actually take the rook. The logic is this king does not have a lot of squares, which means that if he queens, we can actually checkmate, which is kind of nice. And if he doesn't queen, if he tries to stop the checkmate, let's say by moving his bishop, we have time to bring the rook back, or maybe even drop it here. So we have time to take. And then we checkmate. Sorry. Okay, miscalculation on my part. I forgot this pawn was free. This is why this. We'll actually use this as a learning opportunity, because when you calculate, sometimes you go too fast, and you might miss something very, very obvious, which is what I did here. And this is why it's usually important to recheck your calculation to make sure that you're not missing anything obvious. The final move, of course, is a fork. It's still annoying that I missed this, but it works out in the end. Then obviously we take with the rook, because if we take with the pawn, he will take our rook. Okay, so several important lessons from today. Again, most of the puzzles we solved were rated around 2000. We up to 50. Remember, look at forcing moves. Pay attention when things are on the same line or diagonal. Pay attention when your opponent's piece is stuck too far in your position. If you have time and you have a long calculation, check twice. Make sure you're not missing anything. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, please subscribe, and I will be back soon. Thank you.